Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'll be doing the second part for this video, and I just want to get this out of the way real quick. Thank you for the great support this first part got originally, and sorry it took me a while to get the next bit out for it. It's just I had some other ideas I was sitting on, like my Ash video, which did amazingly, may I just say. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, I just wanted to say let's continue this way forward pretty much, and thanks for the support. Now, last time we left off, we sourced the battle between Godku and Cell, where the android was completely destroyed, and the group going into their 7-year time skip. And this is where we'll see them. Now, not long after the battle against Cell, Vegeta asked to have the God Ritual performed on himself, alongside both Trunks and Gohan. Even Tarbell is slightly interested. So the group form up, and over the course of 4 days, perform the ritual to all living Saiyans present. Trunks then heads back to his timeline, where he defeats the androids easily, and his Earth enters a time of peace. Back with our Earth, we enter a time of peace ourselves, where everyone goes to continue on training. Vegeta even pushes his brother to train slightly, getting him a lot stronger, and alongside his god state, he's remarkably strong. Now, this being said, when his son gets to a correct age, he also has the god ritual performed on himself, which leads to Goten getting it performed on him. Alongside this, Goten is trained proper, thanks to Goku, who is still alive, wanting to make sure his son is trained up correctly. Now, all this being said, the 7 years of peace pass pretty fast, and the story with Gohan and Videl goes normal. Eventually, Videl brings up the idea of the tournament, which leads to the Z Fighters thinking it'll be fun, and all entering, even Vegeta. Now, when this is done, they all decide to take part, with the exceptions of, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu. I do want to bring up two things before I go any further, though. And the first one would be Videl would be, by training with Gohan, gaining trace amounts of God Ki, in turn making her slightly stronger. With this said, I believe all Earthlings, and even Piccolo, would have gained a good amount of God Ki over the years. Only small amounts through sparring matches or just interacting with any of the Saiyans would lead to this. And heck, even Chi-Chi and Bulma would have God Ki for other reasons, but this still means outside of our main cast of Saiyans, the Z Fighters have gotten a big power increase thanks to Beerus showing up slightly early. And the other thing I want to bring up is Goku has been itching for his rematch with the God of Destruction, who hasn't shown himself yet. And after spending a bit of time searching for him during the 7 years with no luck, this tournament is what he hopes will draw out Beerus from wherever he is. So Goku heads to King Kai and asks the god to point him in the right direction to find, well, the other god. King Kai is reluctant, but after a couple of days of nagging, he decides that he will try for Goku at least. With the Kai managing to get in contact with Whis, asking the angel if he's free to talk to one of his friends. Whis, interested in who the Kai could be talking about, is happy to. And Goku begins to say, "Oh hey, it's me, Goku. That guy Lord Beerus fought a couple years back on Namek? Well, I just wanted to call in and say I kept the end of my deal, and I was hoping that Beerus would be up for a rematch." Whis, hearing this, responds how he did detect some new godly powers appear recently, but he didn't suspect him. Whis tells Goku that he's sure Beerus would love this chance. After all, it's all he talked about for a while, and he'll bring him to Earth soon. Goku tells Whis to bring him in a few days, when a tournament he and his friends are taking part in will be. It will just be a bit more interesting, and also give them a good excuse to battle. With Whis thinking about it, he's sure the god would be more than happy to take part, and Whis learns correct information, and also learns how there might be some good food at this tournament, which is more than enough to seal the deal for him. Now, with this being done, the day of the tournament arrives, with Goku excited, desperately keeping an eye out for Beerus, having not told anyone what he's done. Everyone begins to show up, and two people who seem sketchy, and another two people who keep giving the group weird looks, but they ignore it. For the most part, they're here to have fun. Now, the two strangers stare at the Z Fighters, and soon their face turns pale. As a flash of light strikes behind everyone, and Goku turns around to see Beerus, Vegeta's face turns white as a ghost. But the group just look on confused, looking at the cat and this angelic looking fella. With Beerus and Goku spending a moment talking, and Beerus saying how the Saiyan better kept his end of the deal. Goku laughs saying how he did, and when Goku tells everyone who Beerus is, it shocks all of them, who look in fear, trying to figure out what to say to this god of destruction. But they're shocked at how casual Goku treats him. This does kind of calm people, and after adjusting to the idea, they all sign up, and are cast, plus Beerus get into the tournament. Now, to save some time, the winner of the Junior Cup were Goten. The boys were told not to use their God Ki by Goku and Vegeta quite sternly in this timeline. God Ki and a minor Ki blast could lead to half the city being wiped out, so they were told to stick to Super Saiyan. And thanks to Goku's training, Goten was the winner here. Now, skipping on past this, let's get to the roster of the tournament. And thanks to having a few different characters here, I thought I'll rearrange things. Our first match is Krillin versus Goku. Our second match is Beerus versus Piccolo. Our second match is Shin versus Yamu. Our fourth match is Kibito versus Vegeta. Our fifth match is Spopovich versus Jewel. Our sixth match is Videl versus Mr. Satan. Our seventh match is 18 versus Gohan. And our eighth match is Pintar versus Mighty Mask. So we have some interesting fights ahead, so let's get going through our first round. Now, the first one is actually pretty nostalgic for the pair, as Goku and Krillin haven't fought truly in a tournament in a couple of years, and they're both very excited for it. Now, Goku holds back his godly power and doesn't even use Super Saiyan, even though Krillin is a lot stronger and very close to arguably base Goku. The Saiyan going all out is too strong for Krillin to deal with, so Goku takes the fight here. However, this fight would be a lot closer than the canon counterpart. Now, the next match being Piccolo versus Beerus, and Namekian would step down from this. I believe after stepping down from Shin, he will literally not fight the God of Destruction. So like I said, even a God Ki boosted Piccolo won't stand up to Beerus. Now after this, the duo of Shin and Kibito approach Beerus, recognizing who he is, and Beerus asks why are they on this planet. Also, a fun side note, Whis has disappeared. He found food stands and he's loving life right now. Around this point, he would have also met Bulma and Chi-Chi, and they're all getting to know one another. Now, Shin and Kibito thank their lucky stars, explaining that they're here to stop an evil creature, and with the god's help, it'll be a cakewalk, saying how they need his help to stop Boo. But Beerus shows his disinterest. This shocks both guys, as Beerus explains how he's here for a match, and he's excited for it. He won't be leaving the stands, unless of course this threat comes directly to him. The Kais are shocked, not understanding why Beerus is like this. But luckily for them, the Z Fighters hear this, and Goku, who has some time to kill before the tournament gets to his next fight, offers out his help. Krillin and Piccolo also agree to help out, since they have some time before Goku's next match. The Kais hearing this thank them, but they aren't sure if their power will be enough. This said, Goku jumps up to his god form, shocking Beerus and the Kais. Goku explains how he was planning on saving this to show to Beerus, but he wonders if this will be enough. The Kais are amazed at how a mortal could be this strong, and Beerus can tell that Goku isn't even showing off everything he has to offer, and now he's more revved up for this fight than ever. So Beerus looks over to Goku, telling him and his friends to go finish and deal with this problem that is Boo, and come back and be in time for their match. Otherwise, he might have to destroy this planet. But Shin explains that they won't find Babidi that easily. They need to draw him out. Beerus, who wants to get this done as fast as possible, asks how to do so. So Shin points towards Spopovich and Yamu, saying how they know where to go. Beerus, not needing to hear anymore, walks over to them and says to the bold fighters, I'll give you two an option. Tell me where your boss is, or I'll kill you both. The pair snarl, and Spopovich goes to attack Beerus, but the god Hokai's him out of existence. As he looks towards Yamu, who is freaked out right now, he offers to help, as Beerus tells them to finish this battle quick. The team of the Kais, Goku, Piccolo, and Krillin all follow Yamu to the wasteland. Yamu is shaken and really doesn't want to piss off the god of destruction's friends. After seeing Spopovich just get obliterated, he doesn't want to risk anything. Now, after a small fly, Yamu arrives in a wasteland, showing them where Babidi is hiding. Shin thanks Yamu, who was terrified, and tells the human to go off and never do another evil thing in his life. He thanks them and then runs off with a tail between his legs. Shin then looks towards our heroes, telling them to be careful not to use too much energy when entering, as it will help them release Boo. But the group think they already have a plan to do here. They talked a little bit about it on the way here telepathically, and they're fairly certain it'll work. Trio head into Babidi's ship, catching the space wizard with his pants around his ankles a little bit, as he wasn't expecting anyone, but he thinks this is going to be a good way to get some energy, so he sends his minions at them. Now, first up, like normal, is Pui Pui, appearing. However, here Krillin takes down the alien, and I know this sounds crazy, but having a god key infused Krillin would make him massively stronger, probably not too far behind someone like Pui Pui, and thanks to Krillin's amazing tricks, Krillin wins with ease. Next is Yakon, who is easily beat by Piccolo with a quick combination attack. Piccolo even makes a point to use a special beam cannon. Babidi cheers seeing a beam blasted, and Shin curses, but no one's shaken as they continue down. Next floor is Deborah, with Goku stepping up to the plate where he goes God, which is felt by everyone around the planet who can sense God Ki, but Deborah can't. He feels the presence of Goku disappear and begins to underestimate his opponent, as Goku then disappears and reappears behind Deborah, saying how he shouldn't get too cocky, before killing him and then heading down towards Babidi, who has collected no energy. Babidi looks at his monitor confused, asking how, with Piccolo explaining how the guess God key might not work, and from the seams of it, they were correct. This Piccolo then kills Babidi, and Shin appears, not only taking the egg, but our heroes back to the tournament while thanking them profusely. Arrive back at the tournament, where they make it just in time for Goku and Beerus' next match. However, they all are caught up pretty quick. Shin asks Beerus to destroy the egg, and he's more than willing to do so, being as though it was brought to him. As the group explain how they stopped Babidi, and also saying how it wasn't too much. And quickly Goku was filled in on who passed what matches. Shin and Yamu left, so there was no winner. Kibito left, so Vegeta won. Jewel won by default since Bokovic is gone forever. Videl beats her dad with ease, and she expects her father to make some sort of lame excuse up, but he just tells her good job, as she becomes a fan favourite and the crowd's belief to be the next champion. Gohan beats 18 pretty easily, and Taba wins against Mighty Mask, but doesn't reveal who the kids are. Now, Beerus and Goku are called into the ring, where the god tells Goku not to hold back. As Saiyan explains how he won't, the pair get into the ring. Goku, not wanting to beat around the bush, goes straight into his god state, shocking the crowd. The pair take a stance and the battle begins. This battle plays out very similarly, for the most part, of the Battle of Gods. However, when they take to the sky, Whis steps into the arena and starts performing a hologram, sharing the entire fight through his staff to the entire crowd, and giving commentary every now and again with the ref, making a bit of a comedic duo. Now, we do have a change here, and when Goku was running out of steam, he laughed, saying, "Honestly, I wasn't expecting to have to use this, but you really are something else, Lord Beerus. I guess I shouldn't underestimate the God of Destruction." Beerus is confused as Goku powers up into his Super Saiyan Blue state, which, during his 7 years of downtime, he has mastered. The power amazes both Beerus and Whis, and the battle gets only more intense. Goku's new power closes the gap a lot, but Beerus still holds a lot of power back, and also has some techniques Goku has never seen. Doesn't mean Goku is losing easily. He's still got things like the instant transmission, and also a great martial arts mastery, meaning he's holding into this fight quite well. Now, the battle continues, raging over in the sky, and Whis gives more commentary, and at some point Goku gets an idea. It was his final Hail Mary, and he doesn't want to win like this, but he's going to give it a shot. He begins to rush towards Beerus, throwing a punch which God easily dodges, but Goku uses this opportunity to grab Beerus' arm. He then puts his free hand to his head and teleports back to the ring. He then tries to slam Beerus straight into the ground. A massive cloud of smoke erupts upwards. One watches on, trying to figure out what just happened. As the dust settles, they see Beerus still in the air and Goku on the floor. The ref, unsure of what happens, asks his fellow commentator, Whis, for an idea of what happened. Whis shows through his staff in slow motion, Beerus slipping free from Goku's grasp and slamming the fighter straight into the ground. This by default makes Beerus the winner, but the god is heavily hurt and a lot more than in canon. As for Goku, he looks a lot worse as well. And the pair give a little bit of a smile, and Beerus is annoyed he had to win this way, but if he didn't, Goku would have beat him. So, for now, they'll call it round 2 Beerus' favour as well. Pair head back into the waiting area, with the crowd letting out a massive cheer as they lead, with Beerus following the conversation up, saying how he's impressed with the Saiyan, but the guy still needs years more training to catch up with him. Goku laughs, saying how he did have one more trick, but he'll have to save that for next time as it isn't quite mastered yet. Beerus hearing this gulps, thinking how close it was. Of course, Beerus did have a lot left to give, but depending on what the Saiyan was about to pull off, it could have been bad for the god. Now, Beerus is about to leave when Goku explains how Vegeta and Gohan would probably like a crack at him, and they're about as strong as him. Hearing this, he is interested and sticks around a while longer, getting given a sensu to heal up. Now, the matches continue on like so. Vegeta with no opponent to fight wins. Videl wins against Jewel and Gohan defeats Tabo. Next is Vegeta versus Beerus. Now, the Prince's match would go much like Goku's did. Of course, Vegeta hasn't waited around and not learnt the blue state. In fact, he mastered it, much like Goku, but the fight goes a lot like Goku's battle did. However, I would argue that it goes arguably worse, since he doesn't have instant transmission. But that's up for debate. The Prince would make up for that in other ways. Now, after this is Gohan versus Videl, and here the crowd are cheering loudly for the girl. Gohan doesn't want to take her thunder, so he holds back a lot, and this annoys her, obviously, who knows that Gohan can easily win this fight and probably easily destroy half of this city, possibly more. But the hybrid gives up after a while, saying how he isn't strong enough to defeat the next champion, annoying the girl as she leaves the ring, having been declared the winner of this round. Of course, Beerus is annoyed he won't be able to fight Gohan, but the hybrid explains how he isn't actually as strong as his father or Vegeta. Heck, he isn't even mastered Super Saiyan Blue yet, so he wouldn't be a good fight for Beerus. Hearing this, the god sighs and explains how he'll be leaving soon, instead of sticking around to fight some Earthling who's only got small amounts of God Ki. This would probably be a good time where the group get truly filled in on God Ki from Whis or Beerus, take your pick. It would more likely be Whis who's interested in the group. Now, with this done, Whis arrives with a bento box full of food from food stands, and on the trip home, Beerus is telling Whis how amazed he is with the Saiyans. It's only been 7 years since Goku discovered the God State, and he's pushed it to a state where he almost rivaled Beerus. He begins to explain how he would like to train one of them up, to see if maybe one of them was a worthy candidate. But first, he wants to spend some time making a bit more of a gap between them. So he asks Whis in a year to head back to Earth and asks to train them. The angel nods, already planning to go back to grab more food, just meaning he has a better excuse to leave. Now back on Earth, with Beerus gone, Videl is actually crowned the winner, making her the champion of the world. The crowd eat this up since she is the daughter of Mr. Satan. Of course, the girl argues about this quite a lot, knowing the strength of the other fighters. But Gohan, before she goes up into the stands to accept her reward, talks to her. You know, you're probably the strongest human on Earth, right? Other than my father's friends. She's annoyed at this, and goes to hit Gohan, but he gives her a look, saying, but that can change. We'll just keep training until you're the strongest, even if that takes the rest of our lives. The girl blushes at this, as Gohan kind of doesn't really click with what he said, taking after his father here, with her agreeing to do so at this almost proposal-like offer. And with this done, the Earth enters a time of peace, with Videl as our new champion. Vegeta and Goku know the difference in power between themselves and Beerus, and want to spend as much time as they can training. Of course, Goten, Trunks, and even Gohan's a little sad they missed out on an opportunity to fight the god. But for Gohan, he's happy to see his girlfriend manage to get the win she so desperately wanted. And with some correct training, she could be an amazing asset to the Z Fighters. And off on Beerus' planet, we see the god going through some very intense training. Here, he's going to push himself and unlock that technique he's been striving for so desperately. And with that said, this is where I'm leaving this part. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope this is a good follow up to part one. It was kind of nerve wracking writing this because the first part did amazingly. But yeah, I hope people enjoyed this. And I really enjoyed writing for this. And the good news about this What If is it won't go on for 45,100 parts. I will probably get 4 parts out of it at most, and that's okay with me. I think the shorter a series is, the better it tends to do, but a lot of my series tend to go for 11 parts plus. And it is a bit of a kick in the gut as it slowly deteriorates, as views stop to happen less. But what can you do? Anyway, with that all being said, I hope people enjoyed. Yeah, no, I don't know what else to say. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you have a good day or a good night, and hopefully I'll see you next time.